Welcome to Book Tease. I'm your host, Jamie, and this is the podcast that celebrates the power of well-written smut. Summer is coming to a close, and so is our Sizzling Summer series. But we are ending it with a bang, literally. I loved this book, y'all. This was such an unexpected surprise, and it was the perfect close for this series. It was so much fun from start to finish. As a reminder, this podcast does contain spoilers. So if you have not read this delightfully hilarious book, then you might want to pause, read the book, and then come back, because this one was so much fun. I never heard of this book before. How have I never heard of this book before? I enjoyed the hell out of it. Okay, we are talking about Love Uncovered by Sadie Aubry. I have not read anything else by Sadie Aubry, and trust when I say I will be looking her up. As soon as I hit stop on this video, I'm looking her up because the writing was delightful, an absolute delight. This book is available on Kindle Unlimited, and it is a standalone. So if you just want a fun summer read, something that's going to make you giggle while you're sipping mimosas or hanging out by the pool or just avoiding the extreme heat of this summer. Hello, other Texans. It has been so fucking hot. You may want to just lounge in the AC with your window open, looking at the heat, but not actually being in it, and reading a book that is spicy and fun and hilarious and all the things. Let's get into it. This book contains Addison. She is, y'all, when I say I related to Addison, the book opens with her being broken up with by her long-term boyfriend. They've been together for years. They live together in this apartment. This girl is in her jammies or in her sweatpants watching, like binging Netflix. And she talks about, I'm flashing through our relationship, and it's just a season after season of Too Hot to Handle or Love is Blind, Love Island. Y'all, I am a trashy reality dating show junkie, okay? It is my guilty pleasure. I know that those shows are trash. I know they're absolutely ridiculous, but I love them. They are fun. They are fun to watch. I would totally be binging with Addison. Hello, Love Island. Like, let's go. I was cracking up. But anyway, her boyfriend breaks up with her because he says that she's boring and there's no excitement or spark in their relationship. And so he wants something more out of life. And she's like, I don't even really like you. But I just assumed this was heading towards marriage. And her mom is this judgmental, overbearing type of person. And Addison stuck around because her mom has an illness. And so she needs someone to help take care of her or check on her. And her father is gone. And her brother is gone. He lives somewhere else. And so she's just obligated, or feels obligated, to stick around. Only her mother doesn't seem to appreciate it. She's always lording it over. You're pretty. You're almost as pretty as I was at your age. Why are you not married? You're basically an old maid. Because they live in Kansas. So I guess Midwest mentality that you need to be. I say Midwest mentality, but honestly, it's Southern mentality as well. You get married young. I did not. And I did hear my share of people going, oh my God, you're 30. You're not married. You need to get it together. What if you want kids? That sort of thing. And so she's dealing with the same thing from her mother. And it's just frustrating the hell out of her. She doesn't even want to tell her mom that her boyfriend broke up with her because her mom's just assuming they're going to get married. She's having a rough day. And she goes out with her bestie and they drink way too much and she is on that tequila and incredibly tipsy. And then she comes home and she's like, I'm boring. I need to live. I need to get out there. I need to surprise people. I need to be spontaneous. And in her drunken state, she goes on a travel website and ends up booking this travel package to the south of France, because that's spontaneous and it leaves in like 3 days. And she's, again, she's tipsy, but this includes the flight, the accommodations, and the resort. And so she's like, okay, I'm booking it, boom, before it runs out. And she thinks she has booked a package to a naturalist resort or nature resort. And she's like, okay, I'm going to eat granola, meditate on the beach. I'm going to go on hikes. That's what I'm going to do. Well, she gets there and it is a naturalist resort, not a nature resort. It is a nudist resort, a famous nudist resort that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. They really played up the fact that she's from Kansas and they said the whole, I'm not in Kansas anymore, like that line. And she's very conservative. And apparently if you're from Kansas, you don't even go out in only your bathing suit. You have to have a cover up. So she is just like shocked and appalled and oh my God, and what do I do? And it is so funny. And she's stumbling around on the beach and she thinks that she's heading in the direction of a beach that has clothing. Like maybe I just went on the wrong side. And she ends up in the wild area where people not only explore being nudists, but they also explore menage a trois and open relations and just, you know, having threesomes on the beach in the middle of the day in front of everybody. Like, they're all exhibitionists over there, big time. And so she's like, oh my God. And she meets this lady because she sees her in the middle of a threesome, and then they happen to bump into each other later on in a restaurant. But she meets a lady named Manon, and she kind of gives her the lay of the land and is like, this is what's going on. This is where you are. This are the safe areas. These are the rules. This, you know, she was very kind, especially given that Addison came off as very judgmental of Manon's lifestyle. Very judgmental. If I was Manon, I'd be like, well, fuck you, American tourist lady. Like, you're the one who ended up wrong. But Manon just laughs it all off and is like, look, I was like you at one point, and then I decided to be free and be myself. And she's very kind to her. So I won't really talk about Manon again. She pops up here and there, but basically she just acts in the book as her guide, as to tell her this is what's going on. These are the rules, to get her acclimated a little bit faster. And I say acclimated very loosely because she never fully just embraces the lifestyle, but she does get into it a little more. Oh, you know what? I have a quote. I had it saved for the end, but I want to insert it here because it is hilarious and it will give a good highlight of the writing style, which was so funny. The writing style was on point, y'all. Like, even the sexy scenes had humor in it and made me giggle. I mean, there was nothing overly serious about this book, and I was here for it. I loved every second. Okay, this was when Addison goes on the beach for the first time, and she discovers it is a nudist beach. The jogger wore sneakers, socks even. But beyond that, not a stitch of clothing. Not even a fanny pack. Certainly no attempt to contain the wild pendulum swinging between his thighs. Penis flailing like a windmill in a hurricane. Wild imagery. Hello. I loved it. She's from Kansas. She's horrified that everyone's naked. But she literally bumps into this incredibly hot French model named Jules. Now, his name's spelled Jules, Jules, but he is very adamant about the S is silent. So, Jules. His name is Jules, and he's apparently this Adonis, gorgeous man. which I'm assuming he looks better than the cartoon guy on the cover because he's not that hot. But they do describe Jewel as being like incredibly sexy. So she bumps into him and they chat and they have a good chat and he expresses interest. So she decides, I'm going to stay on this vacation and I'm going to kind of fake my way through this nudist colony because they have rules. Like you cannot wear clothes on the beach. You will be kicked out by this group of enforcers that wear black hats and that's it. And they troll the beach looking for people who are textiles, as they call it, to kick you off. You have to get naked or leave. You're not here to ogle. This is our life and you have to respect it. So get the fuck out unless you're going to join in. So she doesn't want to get kicked off the beach because she wants to meet with this guy, but she kind of implied or straight out said, what? I am a naturalist. I love being naked. Like she fully lied and then ended up having a good conversation and went on a little date with him. And so she is like, okay, now I've got to fake my way through this. So after having spoken with the Manon, she gets the lay of the land and she finds out that sometimes people do wear very light clothing, like they wear a towel or a sarong or something if they've had too much sun, if they're going into a restaurant to eat, if they're doing little things like that, they will put on very light clothing. So she's like, okay, I'm going to fake my way through this and say I had too much sun the night before. And so she buys a couple of different sarongs in different colors. And then she buys some nude panties and some mesh panties and just like really light panties that you won't really see. And so that's her little outfit. So she has the sarong tied around her and then the little nude panties. And that's getting her through interactions with Jewel. So she just pretends like I had too much sun the day before. Oh, I'm on my period now. Like she has a reason every single time. Meanwhile, he's just being naked and she's seeing his apparently humongous penis just front and center. So, God, was this book funny. So they start getting really close. And they even begin a sexual relationship that's hilarious. And also really, really good. The spice, I'm going to save the spice. And I have a lot to say about the spice, y'all. So let me get through the plot. And then we're going to talk about the spice because, oh my God, it was good. Anyway, they have this whole relationship and they start really falling for each other. But Jewel acts differently around his friends. Now, they both have things going on, right? Like, she's not really a nudist. She's straight out lying to him about lifestyle. But he's also being really weird. And he's a chameleon. And I know we've all known chameleon-like personalities where they seem to adapt to whatever group they're in. And they act differently around different people. Well, he's one way with her. And then when she sees him out and about or they meet up or bump into his friend group, he turns into a completely different person. He's kind of an ass and he starts speaking French and not even being moderately accommodating to the fact that she doesn't speak the language. And she could tell that they're kind of joking about her. And she's even Googled some of the phrases he says with his friends. And it's like just some chick I met or some American, you know. So he's being dismissive. He's not being very cool. And so it really upsets her. And she's like, fuck this guy. So one time when he does this, he wants to get back in her good graces and he's apologizing. And she forces this man to eat this Midwestern food. She makes chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes mixed with pumpkin, mushy green beans. Like, she makes this French foodie guy eat this stuff. And apparently he's rich as well. So she has him eat this and he is just like, but he fakes it for her, which is really endearing. he also has this ex-girlfriend who's apparently gorgeous, and she is also a nudist, and her name's Chloe. And Chloe is really staking her claim on Joel and being nasty to Addison. And Joel doesn't say a damn thing about it. He's just wants everyone to like him. And so he is just kind of moderating, like not even moderating. He's just kind of coasting through this. Like, Addison, be the way you want to be. Chloe, be the way you want to be. He's kind of enjoying the fact that they're fighting over him. Like, so she's getting agitated with this. Well, Chloe's the one who outs her. Women are intuitive and men tend to just ignore. I mean, it's very obvious she is not a nudist. You've not seen her naked except for when y'all had sex. She has tan lines. She always has a sarong or panties on. I mean, come on. Come on, Joel. You're just ignoring the signs. But Chloe straight out just says she's a textile. Like, you idiot. Did you not even notice? She is lying to you. And Addison agreed. Yes, you're right. I am. I am not a nudist, damn it. I like to wear clothes. And so he gets super annoyed with her and refuses to talk to her. And it's like the last couple of days of her trip. And so she's like, okay, he won't even talk to me. So she goes to an gig that he's working, because he's a DJ. I didn't even mention that. He's a model / DJ. And so she goes to see him at a gig because she's like, I want to talk to him before I leave. Well, he's got Chloe next to him and he even is kissing her. And so Addison's like, fuck this guy, like, you keep acting differently. Yeah, I lied, but you weren't that cool either. We both had things that we did that were wrong. So, if that's how you want to be, fine. So she leaves and ends up having a threesome with these two German guys that she's run into. They're there for a sporting event. They're apparently hot, but they run into each other and she's like, I am adventurous. I have done this crazy stuff and I want to feel that sense of freedom and no judgment and masks off or whatever. And so she has a threesome right there on the beach with these two guys. And even that was written in a hilarious way that I'll get into. But when she's done with that, she goes back to her hotel because she leaves the next day and Joel is there. And she's like, this is what I did. So I think it's best we just say goodbye. And that's that. But then he shows up at the airport and confesses his love and apologizes and says that he understands why she had the threesome. He's not even mad about it because, he had some uncool points too. And so they end up making up and she decides to stay in France and finish school instead of accommodating her mother, because she always wanted to be a dentist, but she's just a dental assistant, and which is a totally respectable job, but she feels bad about it because she's like, I could do more. And so she's going to finish school, become a full-fledged dentist right there in the south of France with Joel. So that's the whole book. It was very lighthearted. It was very easy to follow. There wasn't any crazy twist except for the fact, like, the whole plot line is the fact that she is lying to him and getting herself into these crazy, awkward scenarios because she is straight up lying to the man about what she likes and what she's about. And then he's being weird. So they kind of kept missing each other. Anyway, it was great. They got there in the end. Let's talk about the spice, y'all. Let's talk about the spice. It was good spice. There was kink in it, but it was written so hilariously. The first time they have sex is in those mashed potatoes. So remember I said she forced him to eat this dinner she cooked? Well, they end up going at it and knock over the food, and she's in the potatoes and it's everywhere. And then she's on her hands and knees and he starts licking the potatoes out of her ass crack. No joke. And so they just like go to town, multiple orgasms. It's amazing. And they're covered in this mashed potato. Hilarious. Very funny because she's like slipping in it, but still just enjoying the moment. And it's awesome. The second time they have sex, she full on squirts her orgasm at him, which she's never squirted before. They describe it very well. And they're both like, oh my God. Oh, what was that? Let's just keep going. And it's so funny, but it's also sexy. But yeah, so she has and then the third time sex happens, it's the threesome with the German guys. So the sex isn't plentiful. There's not a lot of it. And there's a lot of humorous elements in each sex scene. Like the threesome, they're over here debating, well, how do we do this? I've never done one before. Do we both take turns? What do we do? And then she's like, no. Y'all are going to flip a coin and one person's going to get the front and one person's going to get the back, but not the back, the front back. Talking about one person is getting oral while the other person gets to do the intercourse. So she was like, and then they have banana flavored condoms and they have to get their rhythm right because she gets choked because the back one pushes. And anyway, it's very funny, very realistic. You can't really just like get lost in it and be like, oh, this is so hot, because it's so funny. It's so well written. It's just, even the sex scenes added to the humor of the book, I can't even describe. So when it comes to the sex scenes, when it comes to this spice, it was very difficult to rate because, I mean, there's some good kinkiness going on. There's squirting, there's rimming, there's threesomes, she's having sex not just with the main male character, she's having sex with these bonus people right after. I mean, you've already established that they're in love. This is at the end. And then suddenly she's shifting and she's banging these two guys. And it's like, wait a second, is this a romance novel that I'm reading? Aren't I reading a romance? How is she going to come back from having sex with these two randos on the beach to connecting? Is this just going to be not a happily ever after? Like, the book kept me guessing with that. But there wasn't a lot. There was only 3 sex scenes. There's 3 spice scenes. So I landed on a 3.5. And I feel really good about it. So the spice is a 3.5. The book is a straight up 4, y'all. It was so fun. It even ended with they're together. He has problems connecting with his parents because his dad wants him to be something he feels like he's not. He wants him to get out there and get a real job, not be a DJ/model. He's like, you need a real like profession. So that book ends with Addison meeting his parents, who are nudists. So they're naked the whole time. And she's dressed and they're trying to have this good conversation. And he ends up telling his father, this is what I want to do in life. And I'm not changing my mind. I'm very serious about it. And his dad being very, being accepting and being like, okay, well, good luck, And so it ends with a very sweet note. Moving on to quotes now. P.S. by the way, she goes into a sex shop to buy her panties. So, again, this is a whole, like, famous nudist resort. You're not going to be able to just go find a bathing suit somewhere. And she's looking for something very specific. She's looking for a nude colored thong or something that can hide the fact that she's not really completely naked. So she has to go to a sex shop to find the panties. And she finds these little, like a leather pair that's nude color. She finds a mesh pair that's nude colored. So she finds a couple of panty options, but she has to go to the sex shop. And she is a very conservative, all-American girl. So this is what she says about walking in the sex shop. And I have questions. Rows of vibrators stood proudly like totems in every shape, size, and unsettling shade of silicone imaginable. Is this not what? The rows and rows of vibrators, they're just standing up like totem poles. Like, are they not in their boxes? Usually they're in their boxes and you can look and they're not just hanging out all stuck up where that's not very sanitary. Like, they need to be in their packaging. I'm very confused. What is going on at this sex shop? Right before Addison decides to go have the threesome. Like, she has had enough with the Jewel flipping on her. Yeah, she cares about him, but he's over here kissing on Chloe. So she's like, fuck this. And this is what she comes to the realization. She's just going to be herself and quit trying to please everybody. Quit trying to pretend to be something she's not. She is having her moment of self-discovery. And this is what she has to say. She didn't need Paul or Jules or anyone else to hand her value like a prize for good behavior. She just had to believe in it, own it. She was done shrinking herself, done pretending to like that hideous painting in her Abilene apartment, done faking nudists to fit in. She's done faking nudists to fit in, y'all. And then she goes and has a threesome and loves it. So I'm very proud of her. I'm very happy for her. I'm glad she had this moment of self-discovery and she figured out what she really wanted in life and she quit living for other people because that was her whole issue. And she was unhappy. She was living with her life on pause when she was with Paul. So Paul was right to break up with her. He was kind of a dick about it, but neither one of them were happy. The relationship wasn't going anywhere and it did spur this self-discovery, this adventure. This is what Joel has to say when he shows up at the airport to win her back. And the man buys a ticket to Abilene and is like, I'm coming with you. Only he bought a ticket to Abilene, Texas, not Abilene, Kansas. So he was not coming with her anywhere. And she points it out. See, it's easy to accidentally buy a ticket to the wrong place. So, nah. It was a cute little callback at the end. But this is Joel's declaration of love. Joel, I love you so much. I want to eat that weird mashed potato and pumpkin thing with you, even if it tastes like baby food. I want to serve you expensive wine in plastic cups to memorize every freckle on your skin. I want to stay up all night talking about everything and nothing. Clothes, no clothes, I don't care as long as it's with you. Aww. So yeah, they get there at the end and I love it. And I can't say that this book gave me all the romantic feels, if I'm being totally honest, because I could tell that they were really feeling each other. I could not 100% say I believe they were just fully in love. I think they were fully in like and infatuation, and it could build to love. Like, it was a good basis for a relationship. But if you're over here banging someone, two people, are you really in love with your partner? And again, that's fully just me. I don't know. It was interesting. I can't say that I felt like it was a full-blown romance, but it had romantic elements. It had a happily ever after. It got there at the end. They didn't immediately say, okay, we're going to get married. It's okay, we're going to date longer and I'll meet your parents and we're going to continue this adventure, which I thought was a great place to end it. I really did. It was a fun vacation book. It was the perfect Sizzling Summer book. Nailed it. Let's move on to casting. For Addison, I'm going Britt Robertson because Addison is described as a pretty blonde with freckles and blue eyes and the perfect, like, all-American girl look and just real Midwestern and just super cute. And so I'm going with Britt Robertson because she has that perfect girl next door, all-American look. She's from the South. She's from North Carolina, I believe. She's not from Kansas, the Midwest. Doesn't matter though, because she still has that perfect all-American look, that not polished, not, okay, I am a model, just that I'm gorgeous and don't even realize it. That's the kind of look she has. She was in Tomorrowland. She was in The Longest Ride. And she was in The Merry Gentleman. She's actually in several like fun rom-com-y / drama type of movies. She can do funny though. And you need it for this book because this book was hilarity. For Jewel, I'm going off the rails, y'all, and I am casting Baptiste Ziobikini. He is a full-blown French model. He only speaks French. He is a singer. He is Jewel, except Jewel probably had a little more humor to him. Jewel was a funny guy, and he could speak English, but I don't care because this guy is hot. He has the perfect French model look. I could see him being a DJ because he sings. I'm going off vibes alone for this. And I did look up how to say his name, and I did write down the pronunciation, but I am so sure I probably butchered it. So, Baptiste Ziobikini. Okay, I tried. If I got it wrong, don't at me. It is what it is. I tried. That's all that counts, right? So this is a wonderful close to our Sizzling Summer series. The books for next month have already been released on the website and on the socials. We are going back to school. I can't wait. We are diving into my absolute favorite genre. Get ready for dark academia, y'all. Oh my God, I cannot wait. I love dark academia. I love the gothic feels. I love a dark romance and the gothic school vibes. I am fucking ecstatic. And this is perfect because August, you know, get ready to go back to school. My daughter is starting kindergarten. So she's just beginning her public school debut, her school career, whatever. And I just felt like this was the perfect time. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your summer, a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, stay spicy.
And that's it for this episode of Book Tease. Book and theme reveals and episode commentary can be found at TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at Book Tease Pod. Theme music is by The Scraps, and until next time, stay spicy.